One of the biggest mysteries to come out of Season 5 is who is Vigilante. Originally, everybody thought it was Adrian Chase because Vigilante is Adrian Chase in the comics. But since it turns out Adrian is Prometheus, who Vigilante really is up in the air. There's no clear person. So what I'm going to do is go through all the options of who the internet thinks Vigilante could be, and I'll say which one I think is the most likely, and which one is the least likely. Mark Guggenheim said that Vigilante will be someone we already know, so obviously any of the theories that say Vigilante is any of the other Vigilantes from the comics, like Gregory Sanders, those obviously can't happen. So with that in mind, let's find out who is the Vigilante. Starting with the least likely candidate, and that's Billy Malone. Some people think Billy Malone could be Vigilante even though he's dead. They say they don't think a character like Billy was introduced just to be killed off, but I actually think he was. I think he was just created to give Felicity something to do, and to eventually die at the hands of Oliver. So Billy Malone is the least likely person I think will be Vigilante. The second person and the second least likely is Tommy Merlin. Given the fact that he's dead and his actor is too busy on another show, I don't think it's likely to be Tommy. And I don't want it to be Tommy. Tommy's one of those characters that has such a meaningful death that although he was a great character, he should stay dead. The third person who people think could be Vigilante is Roy Harper, and while I really wanted Roy to come back, it just doesn't make sense. Why would he start killing people? And Vigilante's a lot taller than Roy, so now we get to the people that I think are actually likely to be Vigilante, starting with Deadshot. While Deadshot is dead, we don't know that. Unlike Tommy, I don't think they should have killed him off, and the only reason they did kill him off is because of Suicide Squad, the movie. But I think they don't care about that. I don't think Warner Brothers cares about that as much now, so I'm pretty sure they could bring Deadshot back. And like Diggle said in the beginning of Season 5, they never found your body. They never found Deadshot's body. So if they never found his body, he's probably still alive. And he's got the skills to be Vigilante, obviously, and maybe after escaping the Suicide Squad in Season 3, he realized that he really likes helping people, like he did in Suicide Squad, so he became Vigilante. The second most likely character to be Vigilante, and this might sound a little ridiculous, I think Curtis's husband, Paul. I know that sounds ridiculous because of how angry Paul got at Curtis for being a superhero, but just hear me out. Maybe Paul divorced Curtis because Paul is an enemy of Team Arrow and he doesn't want to live with someone on that team. I know it's a little far-fetched, but I think it's more likely than anybody else I said before because, I don't know, I just feel like it's more likely that Paul will be Vigilante as opposed to Deadshot or Roy or Tommy or Billy. I just think, just thinking how the writers work, I don't think they're going to bring any of those four characters back, and Paul's already there. He didn't die or leave the show, I think. Actually, when I wrote this script, I actually thought it made a lot more sense, but now saying it out loud, it makes less sense, but still more sense than anybody else that I already said. So, now we get to the final candidate, and the most likely for me personally, and that is Captain Frank Pike of the SCPD. Throughout Season 5, Pike has gotten a much bigger role compared to the Season 3 and 4. Maybe that's because he's a Vigilante. Throughout Season 5, you also see Pike get a lot more desperate to protect his city. Maybe Genesis was like his breaking point where he realized that the city needs more than the police. They need Vigilante. Plus, he's a cop, and so he obviously knows his way around a gun. Anyway, that's who I think Vigilante is. It's either Deadshot, Paul, or most likely Pike. What about you? Who do you think Vigilante is? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.